Yeah, I think so.
Greetings.
Yes, we are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, Vibe Tribe, and all our circles of sisters. This is the Circle of Sister podcast where we are soul sisters speaking out and fixing crowns in the process. I am one of your hosts, Lady Unk, the priestess of the path, as we've come to know with our soul path archetype. Here with my beautiful, lovely sisters, Chantel Sierra Kim, your guide and life coach, and she's the messenger. Sister,
Yes,
we've been
yes.
out for a minute and now we are back in action. How you feeling this evening?
I am feeling amazing. I am very much excited about what we've been doing, what we've been up to. Lots of great things are happening. Yeah, and we are here and we remember.
And we remember. Listen, you all, if you are just tapping back in with us, we left off talking about what is your soul path archetype. And we want to pick right back up where we left off because it is super important to understand what your purpose is, what you're here for, what you're meant for. But before we get into the soul path archetypes, let me just tell you how our paths have been working out and aligning in our favor. One of the things that we set out to do when we started this podcast is to really create a safe space, a virtual safe space for us to really pass along the information that we are currently learning or have learned to our friends, our family members, our soul tribe, and more importantly, the vibe tribe.
Ashe.
And we've set out on a tremendous path of really just figuring this whole thing out. And I'm so grateful to be doing this with my sister, Chantel. Chantel has been moving and shaking, as you all know. We just wrapped up at the end of March our Embracing the Queen second season of the cohort.
Whoop,
Um,
whoop.
and we finished our closed out with our retreat in Tennessee, which was absolutely amazing. It was a powerhouse retreat. And so we just been doing the thing. But sis, you had a couple of things that have happened since then. So we got to fill the people in because you know they've been waiting. They want to know.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, when you buckle in and go for the ride that the universe has for you, it's amazing when you see things begin to line up. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. Launching the book, yes. The release date was April 28th. So if you haven't gotten your Embracing the Queen Within copy, please do so. And be prepared for the launch party. We'll be having sometime in June or July. I'm going to do a launch party. So, all the Vibe Tribe, all my Facebook family and friends, you are invited. So, yeah, that's the biggest thing. And just really settling into this path of the messenger. You know, that messenger, we constantly are getting messages, right? The world is sending us messages all the time. So what are we doing with the messages we receive has been my work right now. What am I doing with the messages I'm receiving, and how am I impacting or helping to fortify others by a message of love, joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, um, collaboration, community, oneness, universal love. I mean, that's the message that needs to be spoken, which can
Absolutely.
can counter the other messages that are going out.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad that you spoke about the unity, the oneness, because we are a part of a global village. As sacred women, we are connected with a village of women around the globe, literally around the world. And one of the things that we're doing in effort to unite and show the collectiveness, the unity, the oneness, we are going to be rolling out our Circle of Sisters. Um, with a few different additions. We have some of our elders that have already agreed to join us here on our live podcast to share some of their wisdom and knowledge, and so that we can really share the gift of this work with the global collective, everyone who's tuning in and watching us. And so, I myself have really embraced the soul path archetype that I am currently in this season of my life. I am the priestess of the path. And when I look at the soul path archetypes, and we are going to get a little bit into that, we're not going to go too deep because you got to tune into goodvibeslounge.com and schedule your consultation or sign up for the soul path archetype um, training, which is only, it's a short training, but it really goes into depth about the soul path archetypes so you can figure out who you are. I'm the priestess of the path, and one of the things that I've realized is that in order for me to really do what I need to do, what I'm called to do, to walk in my purpose, I need to really stay centered and grounded into what my passion is. And that really resonates with all of us, right? We
Mhm.
all have to really be centered and grounded in what our path is so that we can be able to amplify the collective. Um, we are also studying with Queen Esther, which is one
Yes.
of our elders in our community. And Queen Esther has a program, Light of the Moon, and she's releasing a new program that we got exclusive access to. And
Whoop,
so
whoop,
this
whoop,
new
whoop, whoop.
program really goes over the moon tones, which are very, very interconnected with the soul path archetype. It's really about understanding who you are and what purpose you came to the planet for. When you understand this information, you can move more effortlessly and efficiently in the way that you are designed to flow. And aligning your passion, right? When you align your passion with your purpose, the walk isn't so hard. The journey isn't so tough. And one of the things that Chantel and I really love in the harmony of this podcast that we do with one another is that we just really flow. Like literally, we come on here, we talk, we chatted up with y'all, and we just allow the universe to instruct us on what to say, because we're connected in that way. We can move in harmony with one another. Now we want to magnify that and amplify that within our global village and our community at large. And so for the next couple weeks, you're going to see us bring on some of the powerhouses of our community. I'm talking about
Yes.
the ones that we've learned directly from and are continuing to learn from. You want to add
Ashe,
anything to that, sister?
Ashe. Yes, yes, I do. I'm just so in awe with the synchronicities, right? And the way that all of this work is lining up. And as you stated, when you align to your purpose, it doesn't really feel like it's a force, it's a flow, it's a flow, and it all really aligns you to living the soft life, as our sister Tanasia wrote a book about, surrendering to soft living. As a woman, that's one way, but surrendering to a soft living happens when we align to our purpose, really, and then embrace the embodiment of who we are and begin to live our life in alignment with that, and not really being controlled or swayed by other people's opinions, judgments, or ideas of how you should be living your own life. So, this has been really, really a beautiful time of self discovery, and deeper integration of our paths, right?
Absolutely. I love that word, integration, because a lot of times we learn things, we learn information, right? You can scroll on your phone for 20 minutes and you'll download and learn a lot of things in that 20 minutes. But how much of that did you actually integrate into your life or integrate into your being? And that is really what the soul path archetype is all about. It's about understanding your purpose so that you can start to integrate the things that you need to integrate so that you can literally walk in alignment. And one of the things that I found in this season, for me in particular, was that I needed to sit still. I am a unifier, but what I had been doing um, was going out and helping each individual collective or each individual person instead of staying put and staying grounded and allowing the magnetic energy that I possess, allowing those forces to come to me so that we can all interconnect. And that understanding this aspect recently has shifted the trajectory of the things that I've been working on in such an amazing way. And has actually allowed me to collaborate more seamlessly with my sister Chantel and with others in the collective that I'm working with. And so this is what it's all about. Right now, we are in the state of building the new world. We've heard this time and time again that everything is shifting, the energy is shifting, a new world is being created. With the new world being created, do you want to step in as your old self? And that's the question that we all got to be asking ourselves right now. Is my old self really benefiting me? Is this person that I've decided that I've been told I am, right? Because normally we operate the first half of our life at least as the way we were told. But there comes a pivotal moment in everyone's life where you have to really go in, self-reflect and really decide, is this in alignment with the things that I know I'm supposed to do? Am I actually showing up as the person that I know I'm supposed to be? Am I actually living out the things that I know that I'm supposed to do? If you have a question mark in your head to any of those questions, then you definitely need to take the soul path archetype quiz so that you can actually get some clarity on where you need to focus your intention.
Ashe, Ashe. And the quiz we will be posting in the chat. So please, if you haven't, or if you have a time, it's like 6 questions. So it's not very much that you have to answer, but just go on in there and see what's in store. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, I'm gonna post the quiz now. So in case there's anyone on the line now who would like to go ahead and take that quiz and then book your soul path archetype consultation with us, because in there'll be a boatload of information that you can gain to really navigate this life experience at your highest potential. That's what life is all about, truly living at our highest potential and doing the things that we truly want to do, and not
Absolutely.
being forced to just align or settle for the jobs and the things that the world or our parents or our profession has told us this is all that you can do.
This is all that there is. Really, we're breaking those old narratives. Those old timelines no longer exist in this new dimension that we've stepped into. This is really a brand new world. I knew it was a new world where 2 days ago my mother said, "This is a new world. We living in a new world." And I was like, "Wow, mom, you feel it too?" Listen, if our elders are speaking it out, we know it's true. They're speaking it because they see that there's been so many changes. All of those doors we thought were closed are not closed. All of those things that we thought we were boxed into, we're no longer in boxes. One of our sacred sisters, Providencia, she has a company, Healing Your Providence. She said to me one time in a phone conversation, words that I'll never forget. She said that they told us to think outside the box, but the gag is, what if I told you there is no box? There is no box. We are not put in a box. Don't put me in a box. Don't put baby in the corner, as they said in Dirty Dancing. This is a time for us to really to be out loud, be bold, and be proud. Be exactly who you are. Authenticity is the key to abundance in this lifetime.
Ashe.
Authenticity. And so, a lot of times, what I've noticed because I have a lot of people pleasing behaviors. And what I've noticed is that sometimes, because I am a people pleaser and I've lived in that lane for so long, well, let me rephrase that. I am no longer a people pleaser. I am a self pleaser. I please myself.
So I say,
And
me first, then you.
than you. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that oftentimes when you exude a certain level of energy, it could come off as ingenuine or fake to some. But that's really the people who haven't really tapped into the self love of themselves. That's really those people who feel that way. When you feel that there is no interconnectedness, we're not all intertwined and interconnected, there is no community, that's really a self-limiting behavior and a self-limiting response. And so we're breaking past all of those narratives.
Yes, we are coming into the alignment with the oneness and the unity of respecting and honoring each individual soul and really seeing where the people in our lives are really mirroring us and really inspiring us to expand, to grow, to kind of become more balanced and in harmony, no longer in this spirit of competition or better than, or, you're below me, above me. It's like a circle and everyone is on equal playing grounds. But being able to be solid in who you are, in your I am purpose, is what helps others show up that way. I mean, it can rub people the wrong way, it can make people think of you in a way that you don't intend to be seen, but it's really for them to figure out why, not for you.
But I
It's
say,
really about each person being true to who they are, so that it can inspire others to be true to who they are as well. The past couple of weeks, we've been utilizing um, the the idea of aligning our chakras and aligning ourselves with the energies of the universe to begin to see the I am presence or the God presence within us, right? And so that we can radiate God energy all around us. And like you said, attract the things that are like us and the things that will help us find ourselves, if you were to say.
absolutely, absolutely. One of the things I was just shuffling and a few cards jumped out, and I just wanted to share this because there may be somebody who watches this either now or on the replay. And I know that this message applies to them because it popped out. I know you're tired, but come this way. Renewal, keep going. The path is revealed. I want to show this. This is from my Sacred Soul messages. This is a message from the soul. And if it applies to you, this is just letting you know that book a consultation with us. We have a free 15-minute consultation where we really just touch base with you, see where you are, see what pathway we have that may apply to you and your circumstance, and really guide you on how to move forward. The consultation is absolutely free. It's a 15-minute session with the both of us where we really deep dive in those 15 minutes. It's jam packed of us really pulling out enough information to see how to best direct you with our soul connections that we have. We have several different program options that can help you no matter what your time commitment is. If you only got a couple hours or if you have a couple weeks, we got something for you. But just understand that there is some guidance out here and renewal. We are at the time of renewal.
And I like that picture because immediately when I looked at it, I saw the lighthouse, right? Or
Okay.
or a beacon of light, in a sense, something that is opening up for you to lighten the way, to lighten the path. And in that same space, I pulled a card as well from the ancestors, secrets of the ancestors. And
Ashe.
the card that came there is clarity,
Ooh.
the altar of air and clarity. And in that space of clarity, there's so much that can be found. So, getting clear about your life purpose, getting clear about what it is you want out of life is really a part of our life incarnation. It's why we were sent. We were all sent with a divine plan, with a divine signature, with the unique essence of that soul energy, Christ consciousness in us that is sent here to create something, to shift humanity, to move us
Okay.
forward as a whole. And each one of us has a little piece, a little gem that really helps spark the fire in another. So this is really just tapping into who you are. What do you love? What are you passionate about? What has
Okay.
been your life's um journey so far? Because all of that is signature to your life purpose or your soul path archetype, whether you know
Okay.
it or not. I mean, the trials, the tribulations, the things you've overcome, the way you've began to blossom, all of that is really, really the blueprint being walked out or written
Written.
by
Ashe.
you. So now it's up to you to uncover and to reveal to yourself, like, hey, why did I have this rough life? Or why have I had this easy life? What has this taught me? How can I inspire others by truly being passionate about what I have experienced in my life? And then
Ashe.
how can I serve others in that space? Not becoming a martyr, not being a people pleaser or trying to fix someone else, but truly understanding self.
Absolutely. And when we understand self, we can move more effectively, honestly, and we can align with those kindred spirits. The second card that came out, because there was a few cards, it was 4 cards in all. And I'm going to give y'all all of them because I know this message, if not all, one may apply to you. So if it applied, stick with it. If it don't, let it fly. But this second message says, set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames, kindred spirits, passion, passion, follow your heart. This is all about, really, I love the chili pepper that's right there. This is really about aligning with those people who actually support you, who love you. I just had this conversation literally earlier today with Queen Esther in regards to really aligning with those people who amplify your energy, who have the same fire and passion for the things that you are passionate about. A lot of times we be stuck in circles, especially as women, because we got comfortable with the cattiness of the circle. We got comfortable with the energy of the circle. And someone told me once, it actually was my very first business coach, which is my cousin, Kimberly Console, our Illuminate Leadership. And she told me, you need to get friends that make you Google what they said. And when she said that, that hit me like a ton of bricks. She was really calling out the fact that I had positioned myself in my group of friends where I was pretty much, and this is no shade to my friends, they know I love them, but I was pretty much the standard. I didn't have friends that had things that I was reaching for. I was, I had a really great job at the time. I was working in a really great career field. I had a 2-bedroom apartment, no kids. Like I was doing a damn thing, but there was nothing like in my mind, I had already reached it all. I didn't have anyone that was stretching me, that was pulling me. And definitely no one who was interested in the things that I was interested in. And so I had to seek those people out. I had to call them into my space. And so for some of you who are on here, you got to find those kindred spirits that are going to fan your flames, that are going to pump you up, that's going to be like, yeah, there's that famous TikTok that went viral where all the best friends, it's your best friend, hype her up or something like that. Hype your bestie up. Like use
Yes.
besties that's really hyping you up. And
Yes.
in this season, it's not about the complacency. It's getting past that. It's if you too comfortable where you are, you need to find some people to help you stretch. And that's the
Ashe.
real.
Ashe. And that stretch is not, that's the part that's uncomfortable, right? Because then we have to really face ourselves, face our shadows, face being alone, face the idea that, oh, I may not have no friends. face all of it, you know,
Mhm.
but truly show up for you. One of the things that I wrote about as one of my first affirmations in the Embracing the Queen Within book talks about me first, then you. Giving to myself allows me to give something, to have something to give to you. And that actually came from one of our sacred sisters when we first did our rites of passage. So shout out to you, sis. And it's quick. What's uh Quita. Yes,
Mhm.
that's her name. So yes, this work is a work that we can each work on, and
Mhm.
we want you guys to, women, queens, ladies, to all really tap into your inner essence, right? This
Okay.
is where we're fixing our crowns, fixing our minds, fixing our hearts to receive and know that we are worthy of whatever it is we see for our life. Now, if you're having a hard time seeing anything more for your life, this again is a perfect opportunity to tap in and see what that soul archetype is all about and see what that ignites within you.
Ashe. Ashe.
So with the clarity card, I'll go ahead and read it.
Mhm.
There's always an ancestral medicine here. And it says sacred items representing the wind element can include bells, feathers, incense, knives, swords, fans, streamers, strings, or woodwind instruments, wind chimes, diffusers, and images of things like the sky, heaven, or fairies will all support this work of finding clarity. So,
Ashe.
as you know, I got my little bell clearing energy all the time because, and activating, calling in
Mhm.
things that I need, you know, and this is just simple, practical tools. I mean, some people can say, oh, I don't want to do all that. Well, that's fine too, but find what works for you. So
Ashe.
it's all about utilizing the things we have at our disposal and also knowing that everything we need is within us. It's all
Ashe.
within.
Speaking of that, look, speaking of everything you need being within us, you know, we are divinely made spiritually, metaphysically, emotionally, and mentally. And one of the next card that came up, it has a beautiful windmill, and I love that because it represents the energy of the energetic flow, and it says, "Love without expectation is to be in heaven. Release control and make peace with loved ones." A lot of the things that we want to manifest, that we desire, we can't bring into the present space. We can't bring into this 3D reality because our heart is closed. Love is the vibrational frequency that brings forth anything that we desire. Our heart space is our greatest tool. And
Gosh,
honestly, we have to understand it in the sense that whatever we're holding in our heart, we will manifest in our reality. So if you're holding in trauma, if you're holding in pain, if you're holding in anger, anxiety, that manifests into this physical realm, into this physical reality. We have to make an energetic shift. When we know windmills are the natural energy, it naturally pushes the energy where it needs to go. And so our hearts operate for our body as the windmill of our internal system. It puts the energy where it needs to go. And so we have to allow our heart space to be open so that we can really manifest the things that we desire. When we do that, we're able to really bring forth what we actually want. We don't have time any longer to worry about the things that have kept us back. We don't have no time any longer to have hurt feelings and drama and all that stuff. We ain't got time for that. We have to understand that we are all on our spiritual path wherever we are, and we have to love those wherever they are. And so this is for those who are holding on to anything from friends or family that's not serving them. Let it go. Let it go so the energy can flow. Ashe?
Ashe, ashe. And it definitely goes in line with bringing the clarity. It said bells, whistles, fans, anything dealing with moving that energy, right? So we can definitely see how synchronicity show up all the time in our life, right? So when we see those synchronicities, we have to begin to identify them first and foremost, and then see what the messages behind it, because I'm always looking for messages, right? I know me and sister had did a reading this week, and she was like, everything is a sign. When you wake up first thing in the morning and you go out your door, if you see something that catches your attention, it's a message with that. It's a message when you're driving down the road and you see a number or a sign. There's a message in that. Anything that gets your attention is the universe trying to speak with you. Some people say now that might be going a little bit too far, but the more we attune ourselves with the vibration and frequency of universal law, the more it all makes sense. Because not
Okay.
only are we one as physical beings, we are also one with the elements. We are one with the animals. We are one with every living being. So when we begin to tap in, we can get messages from all of them. And
Ashe.
those messages are to help navigate us on our journey.
Ashe.
Navigate.
Ashe. And we have to understand that we have to be in a position to really take full accountability of our lives.
That
That's
part.
the hard part, right? It's really easy to say, oh, that wasn't nothing but the devil when something goes wrong, to blame it on another outside entity than to say, you know what? I didn't show up the way that I should have. I wasn't prepared as much as I should have been. I wasn't ready. I rushed this, and we are in the age where we have to really hold ourselves accountable so that we can push past the limiting beliefs that we've had. It's not a coincidence that the universe is rising. It's not a coincidence that more people are waking up and being more open to receiving information about how the cosmos work, about how energy works, about what alchemy is, and about all of these mystical, magical things that for so long were shunned. A part of us being melanated beings means that we are interconnected with the earth like no other. We are really connected with this planet. And the problem is, we've been so scared of our natural skills and abilities that we have shut that power off.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that only serves I would say, I don't even want to use the words oppressor, but it only serves them for so long until they realize, oh shoot, in order for the elevation of the planet and a whole, we need these people to wake up. It's not by coincidence that a lot of this stuff is coming on your timeline. It's not by coincidence that you're being flooded with a lot of new information that you may have never heard of. This is because this is the time of awakening. We need the global consciousness to rise to the level and a frequency so that we can manifest the next world, or the what we say, the true world, not the new world.
The
It's
true
what we're
world order.
is
Yes.
what we are currently manifesting. And so this is about us stepping right back into our royal lineage, right back into activating that God power that lies within all of us. Every spiritual house that I've ever studied lets us know that we are one with the divine, that we are a part of the divine. So, with that in mind, we have to take accountability so that we can move on and really manifest what we want. And the clarity comes when we know who we are, when we really, really know exactly who we are.
Yes, yes. And you made a great point when you talked about the religious houses, right? A lot of us as melanated people have really found our peace in religion in some way, shape, or form, and I immediately went back to the time of slavery, I would say, as that being the story that has been constantly spoken over us as people. But in that same space of slavery, we were given religion outside of our spirituality. And we were also beat to the point where we were subject to this state of control, right? To believe what people tell you, to do what people tell you, and to truly not harness the energy of God that God says you have been freely given. And I often find myself in a space being so much a devout Christian in my life and really studying the word to show myself approved, to now find myself in a space of spirituality where God speaks to me even beyond and greater than what only the Bible could speak, right? Because if you've studied your word and you've shown yourself approved, you know that the word of God is living and active. And the word of God is living and active in us to create experiences that bring glory to God, glory to humanity, glory to your life living as God beings, you know? And
Ashe.
like when you can really begin to connect that and see that there's no separation. The other day I saw, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but this is going somewhere. But I saw one of a reel that came by that was talking about God and or talking about Jesus, and it was saying Jesus never said Jesus and your tarot cards, Jesus and your this, or Jesus don't need nothing else. But really, who is Jesus? Who is Jesus? Okay. If we really want to talk about that, Jesus was the prototype of you and I.
Ashe.
So when it talks about what Jesus didn't need, those same things we didn't need, but if they are tools to help us find ourselves, I feel that everything is beneficial, as Spirit
Ashe.
says. Everything is beneficial. You have to rise to the occasion of what's being presented to you, in spite of what the world is telling you. So that was just a revelation that came forth for me because I'm like, I am so gung ho religion, also so gung ho spirituality because
Ashe.
it's one within me. And
And
that's the message to be delivered. And he that has ears, let them hear. Ashe?
Ashe, sis, you went for the heavy hitter on that one, and I just want to piggyback on that, or veggie back, as we say in Sacred Woman, because that is a whole word in itself. You know, we are taught in Christianity that Jesus was the example, right? Jesus was the example of how we are to live.
Ashe.
He even says that we will do greater works, right? That we
Ashe.
will be able to do even greater than he. Well, we can't do that without having that Christ consciousness, right?
Ashe.
Jesus was called Jesus Christ in that day. And a lot of people don't understand that the word Christ is actually a title, which means anointed one. So we have to already know and understand that we have to tap into that Christ consciousness within us. Christ consciousness, we are all anointed. We are all sacred. We are all the vessel,
The
the
temple, the
temple,
mosque,
the mosque, the
the
shrine. You
collegiate,
already
the
know,
cathedral.
the
Yes.
cathedral. We are all of that. And until we start to identify as which what we are, as the I am, then we will constantly be manifesting other people's dream, because we haven't taken accountability for what we want. We haven't gained clarity on what we want. And for a lot of people, that may be overwhelming. And that's why we offer our soul connection at free of charge, because we are here to make sure that we are educating the global collective, that we are offering this. It's no gatekeeping over here. We're trying to get this information out to you all. Spirit has put on our hearts and minds for us to do this work in the way that we do it. And we know that those that align with us will connect with us. I do want to give you the last card that came out, and it goes hand in hand with the one I just spoke of. It says, wherever you go and whatever you do, be in love, strong feelings,
Mm.
inspired, don't settle for less. We ain't settling for nothing in this season. We
I
are
say.
not settling. We are getting exactly what we came for. We are getting exactly what we know we deserve. We are getting our value. We are knowing our worth. And this is where our people are right now. We know our value. We know our worth. We are getting the education. We are aligning ourselves to the energy of nature. We are aligning ourselves with one another. We are combining our resources. And this is what this time is calling for. It's really calling for us to come together. There is no separation of religion. We have to think about it. And, you spoke about tools, and I really want to use this analogy. Someone told me a long time ago. A hammer could be a tool for building, and it could also be a tool for murder. It just depends on who's holding it at the time.
I
And
say.
so we have to understand that people have demonized spiritual practices and spiritual tools because maybe they've experienced someone who was holding the tool and was using it for dark or for evil, and they weren't using it for light work. They were using it for something else. And that's a valid fear if you've experienced that. However, we can't limit the most high and what he's capable of just by one person's interpretation or use of a tool. We have to
Ooh,
understand that we each possess the power to use the tool however we see fit. There was someone who took a rock and carved out a stone. And when they carved out the stone, they carved out a wheel. And there was another person who came and said, well, I don't think that stone wheel really working real good. Let me make it out of another material. And then we have the rubber wheels that we have today. There was many people who took that same tool, who took that same idol, and they converted it over and over and over until it became one of the staples that we see out here everywhere you look and turn. And that's what everything is here for us to do. Really for us to amplify, use it, and each one of us bring our insight, bring our knowledge, bring our wisdom to the collective so that
I
we can
say.
all rise together in alignment with one another. Ashe?
I say. And that was perfectly presented, sis. I mean, the tools that we have at our disposal can be used anyway, like you said, for good or for evil, as some would say. But even the Bible can be used that way, right?
Ashe?
Some people can take the Bible and it is a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
really. And it's a weapon not to build up, but to tear down and to control. But
Mm-hmm.
another person could use that same Bible and lift you to the heights of heaven, if
Ashe.
that's what you believe, right? Because it goes back to what do you believe? And as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, right?
Come on.
Ashe. Um, and then when in that space of serving the Lord, what we all are seeking is unconditional love. Period. Unconditional love. And when you can really begin to feel unconditional love for yourself, you can have that unconditional love for everyone else, no matter
Mm,
what they choose to practice. There's no what is it called? Disfellowship.
mm-hmm.
There's no I can't
Dysfunction.
associate with you. It's no, I love you. I see you, and I'm not going to try to convert you. I'm going to embrace you for who you are, no matter what. And that's where unconditional love really gives us an opportunity to truly be who we have been called to be. Say so that we can say what we need to say and be who we need to be and do what we need to do. But it starts with you. No one else can tell you any different. You know
Ashe.
what when you begin to connect with God in you, the hope of glory, the hope of life, there's no way that you could separate or even discompartment the whole life experience. So,
Okay.
this is why the soul path archetypes are important. Okay. We're going to go back to that. Knowing your, knowing your soul path archetype will allow you to see the past life karmas, really, that each
Mm-hmm.
individual soul has experienced. And in those karmas, then you can see where the connection comes with your belief systems because we are a product of what we have lived before, what our generations and our lineage have lived before.
Yeah.
And we come into this life to live it too. So, what are we going to do differently? How has that been working for us, generation after generation after generation? And at what point do we say something has to change? And
Something has
be
to
that
shift.
voice.
Ashe. There's famous, since we're talking about Christianity, one of my favorite gospel songs is There's a Shift in the Atmosphere. And
Mm,
every time I would hear that, it just seems like my body would rumble. There would be a vibration happening within me. And there is currently a shift in the atmosphere. We've seen it. The planets have aligned for everything that we want. And now is the time for us to get out of any of the narratives that we've been taught in that old world school of thought that was very oppressive. We not acknowledging that in this season. There is no oppressor. There's nothing that can hold us down. I want to say this so that we all can understand and be in alignment. As melanated beings of this planet, we are the most valuable resource of this planet. Okay? You can go Google search right now how much the cost of melanin is. Okay? And when you research that, you should understand and you should be able to look in the mirror and understand that you are worth way more than anyone on this planet will ever tell you that you are worth. And so,
gosh,
with that in mind, knowing your worth, understanding that you have a huge purpose here on this planet, and knowing that it's time for you to show up and show out. And there's people that are here to support you. Myself and Chantel do this all day, every day. Not
gosh,
because we have to, not because we like the accolades or anything like that. Most of the stuff we do be behind the curtains until we come back and say, okay, let's pop out and tell everybody what's going on, or we got something new to share. Most of it goes unseen and unheard, but we do this work because it is our path. It is our purpose. And not only that, it's our passion. We are really passionate about sharing this knowledge. And so, in any way, shape, or form we can do that, we will. And we're also passionate about helping you find your passion and aligning it with your purpose so that you can walk effortlessly on this journey that we call life. And you can show up for the collective with only the gifts that you have. You have a particular set of skills, talents, and gifts and abilities that no one else in this world possesses. And we need everyone to sit on their throne so that we can really heal the collective. Ashe?
reigning and ruling as kings and queens and establishing new territories, new ways of life that really truly support us ultimately, and it is all about community. It is all about connection. It is all about each one reaching one, and it is ultimately about raising the vibration of humanity. Everybody is looking for something, the ball to drop, or the next wild thing Trump's going to do. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And how will you support yourself and your
Yeah.
family and those within your immediate reach? How will you support them when the ball drops or if the ball drops? This is what's going to prepare you for that. So we're kind of a couple of steps ahead of the game, giving thanks for this and giving thanks for just the newness of the experience. Why not take authority? Why not try and see something that you've never seen before? Why not try and do something that you've never done before? Why limit ourselves when we have such great potential? So this is what it's all about. This is where we're here, why we're here. We're going to continue to pop out. We're going to continue to support the community. We're going to continue to bring our other mentors and guides and sisters and contemporaries who are out here doing their work, living in their purpose, and really fortifying this new vibration that is being
Established.
resonated,
Hmm.
because it is all frequency and vibration. Whether you're thinking high vibrations or low vibrations, that's going to be your reality. So we're trying to help curate an environment where you can truly manifest the life that you wish to live at the highest potential in this now reality.
Absolutely. So if you've stuck around or watched this on replay and you're trying to figure out how can I connect with you all you have to do is go to www.goodvibesloungellc.com and schedule your soul connection with us. We will take it from there. We will guide you on the steps that you need to do in order to really fortify the goals and aspirations, line yourself with your purpose and your passion. We have several program options. Something is available for every budget. We also have some great incentives for those of you who do come in. So I strongly encourage you to go on goodvibesloungellc.com immediately after we close out this live. Schedule your consultation so that we can figure out your soul path archetype and see how we can best help you navigate this new space of the true world that we're walking into.
Ashe. So who is the messenger? Me. Who is the soul path priestess?
Me.
Who is the warrior of light? That was me
Yes.
too. Who
Who
was
is the oracle?
That was me too. And who is the dream weaver? The dream weaver. This is where I am seeing the merging of the messenger and the dream weaver. The dream weaver creates reality, creates our reality. So there are certain individuals out here who truly are needed right now. Your visions, your dreams, your weaving of our reality is needed. So you have to know that it's you so that you can really do what you're sent here to do. So we're calling them all in.
We
Five
y'all in.
soul path archetypes. We're all collaborating. We're coming together and we look forward to this new world. So
I
until
said it.
next time,
We
we
are
are the
soul
soul
sisters,
speaking out
speaking out and
and
fixing crowns in the process.
until next time, peace and love.
Peace.